The only problem is it's not even close. And so how can you possibly listen to a guy who dresses up like a doctor, acts like a doctor, but spews nonsense? Coach Greg, and I've had enough ridiculous nonsense being spouted on the internet. First up, growth hormone. If you just fast, you don't eat for a couple days, your growth hormone's gonna go up about 2,000% or 20 times higher than normal. And so why would you waste your money buying something like this, gentropin or actual growth hormone? Why would you use it? In case you're wondering, somebody left this at my house. It's not mine, and I'm not being sarcastic.
Do you know how much growth hormone costs? A small 0.1 injection is about $400.
And so apparently one of these is $4,000, seeing as it's 1 ml. The only problem is it's not even close. And so how can you possibly listen to a guy who dresses up like a doctor, acts like a doctor, but spews nonsense? He actually thinks it's $400 for a small 0.1 injection. 0.1 of this would be 3.6 IUs. That is not small. That would in fact be about 3 injections. Unless you're a bodybuilder or have no clue what you're doing, you're not injecting 3.6 IUs per day. That is far above replacement doses, and no doctor in their right mind would prescribe you that much growth hormone. Why would you believe this nonsense? Yet close to 100,000 people like this video. They actually believe what he's saying, and why is that? Well, people, they want a confirmation bias. They want to think that what they're doing is actually correct. And so people who are fasting, they're looking for excuses to say, we got it right. We fast, you don't, you're an idiot, and we are not. And so when you have a guy speaks like a doctor, says a bunch of nonsense, you're thinking, oh yeah, I got it right, I am smart. That Coach Greg, he has no idea what he's talking about. He thinks that fasting isn't for geniuses. Why would he say that?
$400. 0.1.
$400 for a small 0.1 injection. Imagine what bodybuilders are doing. Bodybuilders perhaps are injecting this entire vial every single day. And if it's $400 for 0.1, they perhaps would be spending $4,000 a day. And say, let's do some quick math. 1 hour later, that would cost an athlete $336,000 for just a 12-week cycle. And you all know the Liver King. You remember Liver King. Liver King was abusing growth hormone, was spending over $10,000 a month. And so clearly they got it wrong. And remember, I used to use growth hormone in the past years ago. I don't use it anymore. And the reason for that is I do not believe that I need it. Despite the fact I turned 48 years of age today, I see no reason for me to be using growth hormone.
2-day fast produced a 2,000% increase in your growth hormone production in a man and 1,300 in a woman.
Even if fasting increased your growth hormone levels by 2,000%, which it doesn't, do you really think it's going to help you build so much more muscle? Last I checked, there were 3 things you needed to build muscle: protein, water, energy, and a 4th, a stimulus for muscle growth to occur. And so if you haven't eaten for 2 days, where are you getting this protein? Where is it coming from? You can't build something from nothing. You perhaps could use the energy from stored fat cells. No problem. You got water, you can drink it. Well, where are you getting the protein if you fasted for 2 whole days? I'll tell you where. From your biceps, your pecs, your shoulders. And what is the body going to do? Well, it's trying to keep you alive, and it values your heart a lot more than it values your biceps. Does it now make sense to you? If you don't eat for 2 days and you need protein to build muscle, you all know that. Perhaps 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight being ideal to build muscle. If you don't have any of it, how are you possibly building muscle?
Now, why would I want growth hormone? Because growth hormone is the hormone that keeps you young.
And so he says you want a lot of growth hormone because it keeps you young. Your skin, hair, nails builds muscle. It's amazing. But notice he didn't speak about the fact that when you take growth hormone, it increases IGF-1 levels. And when you have elevated IGF-1 levels for too long, What it does is it borrows from your future. Let's assume you were going to live to be 100 years old. You have amazing genetics and you decide, I want to look like a 28-year-old. That's right, I'm going to identify as 28 because I feel 28. I don't want to be 48. I want to look young, younger than last time. And so I take growth hormone because it's going to keep my youth. Do you know what it does? It's borrowing from your future. It can, in fact, shorten your life. And so why do you think I'm not on growth hormone? I want to live as long as humanly possible. If I thought that taking growth hormone, that having 20 times higher levels of growth hormone than I should have, made me live longer, guess what? I would do it. I most certainly would do it. Even at the excessively high price of $400 a day, you don't think I could afford it? I would absolutely, without question, spend $4,000 every single day if I thought it was going to make me live longer than last time. $4,000 a day? Are you kidding me? What is your money to you if you're in fact dead? Just ask Brian Johnson, and no, not the Liver King, the other Brian Johnson, the vampire, the man who wants to live forever. Do you think it's for moral reasons? I'm already on HRT. I tell you that, 140 milligrams of HRT a week. But yet I'm not taking growth hormone. And so if I'm not taking growth hormone and I have access to it, I can afford it, then why would you want to take it? Certainly would burn up more calories, certainly could benefit me a little bit right now. But do you know what also can do that? Doing cardio, eating healthy, getting in a good night of quality sleep. And the number one supplement that I take, that I'm actually taking, that I don't miss a day of, GO2 Max. And the main ingredient, and man, it's been researched harder than last time, shown to potentially slow down the aging process. And not only that, gives you more energy, improves your cardio. And trust me, the more you take, the worse it's going to be. Bodybuilders on abusive doses, perhaps 5 or even 10 IUs per day, do you really think that's going to have a positive influence in their longevity? Of course not. Low doses of growth hormone, if you're deficient in IGF-1, that makes sense. If you go to your doctor and you're on the low side, you don't feel good, the doctor recommends it, or perhaps you're a child, you have some kind of a growth disorder, and you need to take growth hormone to make you grow taller while you're in puberty, perhaps sometimes before. But you should not just go out and take growth hormone as an adult without your doctor's approval and or consent, just thinking it's going to help you to live longer.
It's a growth hormone that makes your skin better, that replaces the dead parts better, and your muscles grow.
Do you know what helps your muscles grow even more? If we're talking about performance-enhancing drugs, HRT, testosterone, by a landslide, I would say 10 times better.
Your muscles actually grow. So you do 10 reps, you're gonna put on more muscle than if your growth hormone is low.
Remember, it's not just about putting on more muscle. Yeah, a lot of bodybuilders say, oh, I'm not on growth hormone. If I only took that, then I'd be amazing. I thought the same thing. When I was doing cycles, I wasn't taking growth hormone. I thought, what is the difference between me and those IFBB pros, the biggest guys in the world on the Olympia stage? It's got to be growth hormone. That's the only thing I'm not taking. Took the growth hormone, got a little bit better, yes, but it wasn't the holy grail. It did not make that much difference. And so if you are contemplating growth hormone or thinking that fasting is the answer, it's not. Have you considered the evidence? Do you not believe me? Let that sink in. I am not on growth hormone. A lot of people speculate. I read the comments. Oh, you're on growth hormone. You're lying. Your dose is higher. Not lying. Had my blood work done, my testosterone on my last test, 545 nanograms per deciliter. Not bullshitting you. Mind you, it was the same day I was supposed to do my injection, the 100 milligrams on the 5th day, but still 545. So perhaps it goes into the 700s, dips into the 500s, doing the shots every 5 days. Do sprints instead. Oh, I'm going to run to the mailbox. Growth hormone going up by 874%. Okay, Dr. Eric Berg, bull freaking shit. I need to grow taller. Well, if you've already finished growing, you're not growing taller unless you try limb lengthening surgery, which is going to cost about $100,000, and you're going to be paying for 6 months. That's cap. If the increase was that large, then all bodybuilders would be fasting. I mean, do people not use their heads? Like, clearly, this is very logical. If it was that good, if it was that great, wouldn't all the people trying to put on muscle be doing this? Let me know in the comment section. Did you fall for this? Do you buy this? Do you really think that fasting is going to help you put on muscle? And if you do want to put on muscle, fasting ain't it. But you can, of course, get harder than last time supplements. For example, Ecti Builder help you to put on muscle, as well as G-Test to increase your testosterone levels. Interested in these or the GO2 Max or any of these supplements, including Seco bars, creatine, all that stuff, enter code Greg, 10% off. Like the video if you in fact liked it, subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algo, watch one of those freaking bloops, watch it now. If you're looking for cookbooks, trading books, coaching plans by me and my team, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line or that Circle diet book, please check it out. And if you have no money, head over to the website anyway, enter your first and last name and email address. You're going to get close to a 50-page free diet and training program. Everyone, head over to my website. And until next time, I am out.